Hello.
Any fish taken nothing.
It's 3 a.m. It's 9 p.m. for me. Just ate lunch? Nice. It's 9 p.m. working, making pizza. Sounds yummy. Hello. How's your day? Pretty good. I had to make that Saridra video real quick. Saridra video was pure sparkle glaze. I mean, like, there's nothing I can do about it, man. They made a character that strong and for free. God blocks 104 pity. Nice. I'm kind of lost. Like, how am I even supposed to get up there? Dude, you can shoot the arrow and it will curve around the corner. Oh. Oh. Thanks, guys. Thanks.
How about exchanging this for some honey brew?
I got Ewan Saridra on release. Best choice ever. I could skip Cyrene since I had Sunday. I have 300 pulls for Asheville. Nice. I do have her traces buffer non-existent damage. I'm not gonna lie. Probably the funniest. It was already funny to begin with, right? Like, it was already funny to begin with. But what makes it even funnier is that now with Cyrene, Saridra can't ever, like, do her own damage on ult anymore. Like she doesn't even have that. Her ult doing, like, the tiniest bit of damage. Because she'll, like, Phenon will always be an ult with Cyrene. So in her best in slot team, her self-damage traces become even more useless than they already were. Which is just like, wow. I genuinely don't know what they were cooking with her. I don't think Saridra will be the first 3.x to get a Nova Flare. Because the reality is popularity plays a pretty significant point in how fast you get a Nova Flare. Right? Like, Firefly is the strongest 2.x DPS currently, yet she's the first one getting Nova Flared. Wait, what? Oh, whoops. Do you think the skill points from Sparksy Cone will be worth it for the Silverwolf SP team? Here's the thing. With the current SP positivity that we officially know of with a Yao Guang Sparksy combo, it isn't enough, in my opinion, for Sparksy to even like have enough overcapping SP to justify getting her light cone. So you can take it one of two ways. Either Sparksy's light cone is bait, or the more likely option, Silverwolf SP will also generate skill points on her ultimate, or on her elation skill, sorry. Right? Because we've seen every character's elation skill has a reward on it. And so if now Yao Guang's Aha instance and Aha instance have like one or two more SP generated from Silverwolf's elation skill, then yes, you'd probably want Sparksy's light cone. That's likely how it's gonna go. What does Sparksy light cone even do? It buffs elation team damage depending on how many allies or elation allies are on field. It increases the max skill point cap, and it might do something else, but I don't remember. Well, yeah. The thing is, Everly, like sometimes Ceredra's double skill can shine. You know, I'm not saying it won't. Like the recent trend HSR has done with a few bosses, where like if you beat their ads or you break them, and then while they're in this state, you're able to get like 50% more vulnerability. Like Ceredra is going to shine in there because you can get as much damage as possible from double skills on that single, turn. But when you just look at things objectively, yeah, she's like, it's pretty mid, dude. It's pretty bad. Is E1 Robin better than E0 Seri? No. I don't think so. And it also depends the context. But no. It's close though, if I remember correctly. It is close. Please grab that book. Bruh. Heisland's build check. 135 speed, 3800 attack, and 121 effect hit rate. With Black Swan's light cone. Yeah, in my opinion, Ceredra is only like definitely worth it, opportunity wise, in Anoxa teams. But like in a Phanon team, dude, you have too much that is better than Ceredra opportunity cost wise for Phanon. Like it's insane. Like you have E1 Tribby, if you have an E0 Tribby, you have Buff Sparkle, you have Sunday, you have Phanon's E2, you have Phanon's Lycone, you have Phanon's Lycone Super Impositions, you have Phanon's E4 and E6, which are massive increases in his weaker modes. Like, do you have Heisland signature? No. I looked it up, and Heisland's signature on an E1 Heisland's is actually worse than Black Swan's. So apparently the optimal way of Lycone investment is obviously Kafka tutorial, but you give Black Swan Heisland's cone, and then you give Heisland's Black Swan's cone, which is like kind of funny. Light cone is better than Saridra? Yeah. Phaenon's light cone increases his damage by like 35% as compared to any other option. Saridra doesn't hit that. Maybe she hits it in a Cyrene Saridra team, where like Cyrene can increase Saridra's value. But at base without the Cyrene caveat, no. No, do not get Saridra's signature, please. Like, just go for her E1 if anything. Oh. What in the world am I supposed to do here? Oh, I see. Oh, that's not bad. But yeah, currently I'm like building pity on Swan Banner just to see if I can get the E1, but I don't think it's gonna happen. How much do I even have? I have 25. I see in general people go for Sigs way more than Eidolons. It's a weird thing that some people have that I have openly like been annoyed about whenever I've made, like in the past it was a lot more annoying. I used to make a lot more Eidolon centric content than I do now, but at some point I slowed down on it because of how many like weirdos there are that have no problem pulling on Lycones, but then will say I don't go into Eidolon investment.
I miss them as I miss fleeting moments.
Like I don't know, it's just some weird thing that people do, and it's like it's fine to do that on your own thing, but like I'm obviously going to recommend Eidolons because 99% of the time they're better value. You could get Phaenon, you could probably give an E0 Phaenon, E2 Cyrene, and Saridra, and an E2 Phaenon with free to play supports will still be stronger. Like the stigma around Eidolons makes no fucking sense to me. Like cone art, how many people genuinely log into this game and stare at like cone art for like 5 to 10 minutes every time they log in? Like, is that really a thing? I've never even thought about that in my life. Like, it looks cool, but like, oh, the like cone art is cool. Like, I can just go in the data bank and I can see like cone art. Like, like, are we serious, bro? You can't zoom in if you don't own it. Wow. I mean, I guess, man. I guess. But like, yeah, like I'll never stop recommending just vertical into Phanon constantly over getting his teammates any day of the week. Just keep verticaling in that guy. It's always gonna be better. Hello. Himiko. What? They don't have to cater character kits to Nova Flared Ho-Ho. Nova Flare Ho-Ho is like a temporary fix for the Elation teams until they get their sustain, probably. And that's it. So they won't cater new character kits to being paired with Ho-Ho. Why not just get Lycone and Eidolons? I mean, you can. If you're talking about the people who ate Eidolons and go for Lycone, I mean, I don't know. Like, some people just said, I guess Lycone aren't. And that's it. It's weird. What do you think about Saber? Will she be forever cooked? Mm. The problem with Saber, I genuinely think the only way she could be saved is a Nova Flared Sunday. But I don't think they're Nova Flaring Sunday in this version. Like, Nova Flare Sunday would probably be something nearly at the end of the version, or like 5.x. So with that in mind, until a Nova Flared Sunday becomes a thing, I do not think Saber is going to be ever in a good spot, in all honesty. It's just cooked until then. Once you'll be able to get like Ho-Ho Nova Flare plus a Nova Flared Sunday, that's when you're probably going to be able to really make a Saber shine. But you got to wait a long ass time. I thought Saber was pretty good. She's the weakest Amphorius DPS by a good margin. Like, she needs 6 cost to do what Archer can do at a technical 0. Because of Buff Sparkle and Archer being free. Archer is cheating. I mean, even if you say that, Everly, if you count free Archer and free Buff Sparkle as cost, it's like 2 cost for Archer to 0 cycle versus like Saber 6. So it's still an astronomical difference, even if you don't do the cost cheating thing.
How about exchanging this for some honey brew?
Does being weakest of Ampho make her bad? Yes. Like what? She aged the most terribly by a large amount. And then unlike most of the Ampho DPSs, like for example Herda. Herda is also like pretty much on this like low tier of Ampho DPSs. But Herda's E2 makes her like twice as strong. So you get like an E2 Herda, bam. You're keeping up with the strongest teams. You get an E2 Saber. She's only like 30% stronger. Like, she can't make up for being weak with her own vertical investment because of the way HSR decided to, well, make the collab characters vertical investment. So she has no horizontal investment. She has no vertical investment. And at base, she's the weakest of the entire version. It's chopped. Like, I'm pretty sure even an Acheron played correctly can clear better against endgame content as compared to Saber. Like, that is who Saber's competition is. It's Acheron with a Cypher. That is depressing, in all honesty. My bet, by the way, Acheron is probably getting Nova Flared in this version or early version 5. Unlike the Sunday one that you can say is a bit cope, Acheron, in my opinion, is definitely getting Nova Flared within the next year. Yeah, Herda also has the advantage of just being a pure fiction god as well. Will Silverwolf SP be worth it without Yao Guang or Sparksy? No. Just no. No, I don't know what Himiko's team would look like.
Any fish taking the bait?
Is E1 Archer worth it? No. You can go for it, but E1 Archer's value these days is like really low. It was already low to begin with. I actually had this talk once when Zolza was in my stream a few months back about E1 Archer. Like, E1 Archer to begin with pre-buff Sparkle, that E1 was like maybe a 20% damage jump. 25%. And then in Sunday teams, because skill point usage was a lot rarer, it would be a bigger jump. But with the new buff Sparkle and how much more SP positive she is, I imagine the E1 at this point is below 20% in terms of a damage jump for Archer. It's like, it's really not that great. Should I pull Saridra if I got Phanon E2, Sparkle E1, and Sunday E0 S1 but no Cyrene? Or should I get E2 for my Sparkle instead? E2 Sparkle. Definitely E2 Sparkle. What is Jester Gooning? I don't know. I just saw it randomly on Twitter. The free 5-star lasts 100 days. But there's no point in waiting in the first place. Because we already know the 4.2 Nova Flares because of Anon. And none of those characters in the current selector are getting Nova Flared. Other than Sparkle just now. So, like, value isn't going to change at all. Even when we go further down the line. Is Sparksy and Yao Guang a must pull to run SP anything? As far as I'm aware, Yao Guang is like the definitive best in slot for all Elation DPSs. Sparksy is only for Silverwolf SP. Sparksy is not for Evanesia, but she is for Silverwolf SP, for like punchline generation, sub DPS for like the mono elation thing. Yao Guang is the only one that's like, yeah, you're probably gonna want her on every single elation DPS's team no matter what. You think we would get another free selector for anniversary? No. I think we're just getting a golden token. No, Yao Guang will probably be best in slot even outside of Sustainless. In Sustain, she's also best in slot. Any team where you put Yao Guang with Sparksy, she is as, if not more, SP positive than Buff Sparkle in 3-man elation teams. Like Yao Guang, no matter what, so long as you have Sparksy on a team with her, the synergy between those two will make Yao Guang exponentially stronger. No, I don't think Himiko's gonna gain ult with shields. I don't know what she's gonna do at all. She could do anything. While I feel a Yao rant coming up, there's no Yao rant. I've already gone hard enough. It seems like, I mean, I can't do anything, dude. I'm too small of a creator in the grand scheme of things. Like, there's another creator's video I saw that is now at like 70,000 views, telling people that Buff Sparkle is going to be in the mono elation team with Silverwolf over Yao Guang. And so now it's even more commonplace for me to go through Reddit and Twitter and people say that Buff Sparkle is going to be there over Yao Guang. Like, I can't do anything, dude. I've made a bajillion videos and it's made a fucking dent at most. I give up on trying to, you know, enlighten people to what Yao Guang actually does. There's no point. I don't think a creator that has 100 concurrent viewers is considered small. I mean in terms of the views I'm getting on my Yao Guang videos. My Yao Guang videos are getting at max like 7,000 views maybe. That might be the highest one. When it comes to this other creator, their one video alone is 10 times that. So I cannot reach the same audience, which makes me small in comparison to their video, is what I'm saying. Botted? No, I don't think it's botted. They made more of a guide video, and obviously they edit their content. Like, editing your content makes a huge difference. It makes an astronomical difference if you do edited content. So, I don't edit my content. I'm very unfiltered. Uh, you know, I'm not exactly popular, as compared to what I could be if I, like, more so leaned on family friendly side with edited content. It's very easy for a guide video to bang in HSR. Those are like the easiest videos to make that get the most views. If you're good at editing, that is. Why don't you edit your vids? Because I don't want to. I treat this shit more as a hobby and like giving my opinions out and having discussion than trying to make some finished product that will make me as much views and money as possible. The second I start treating something like a job, I lose interest in it very quickly and my passion for it goes away. So, no, I don't have an editor. What are we talking about? I enjoy this type of content more than having a million edits on a video. Well, the majority of people prefer edited content, so nothing you can do about it. Yeah, I always take breaks from streaming. I'll like stream consistently for a little while or for a good time period, but then I will stop streaming for a good while again. And then like I go back and forth. If I want to stream, I'll stream. If I don't want to stream, then I won't. Kind of simple. Mm-mm-mm. Hello. Yeah, I've seen the Sparksy JP voice. Mm-mm-mm. Thoughts on E1 Yao Guang? 30% jump in elation teams. 25 to 30%. Why would I make a post on Pride when shit? E1 Yao Guang doesn't do anything for Ashvale. So, E1 Yao Guang doesn't do anything for anyone outside Elation teams. So it'd be E1 Ashvale. Probably. E1 Yao Guang is like literally only for Elation teams. It doesn't work anywhere else. I mean, I'd probably invest into the newest team. You can run Asheville as a hyper carry with Sunday and Sparkle. Can I ask a question about polling advice? Sure.
Any fish taking the bait?
E2 Sparkle. No, Sparksy will not be in an Evanesia team. She's only for Silverwolf as a sub DPS. Evanesia is probably a normal hyper carry. Just think of main DPS Evernight or main DPS Aglaya versus Mono Rem. There's only going to be one team that has mono damage dealers, which is probably Silverwolves. I wonder if I should buy monthly pass on this account. I probably should. Yeah, I'll probably do that. Who does most of the damage in Mono Rem? Casterus. By a good margin. The reason why Evernight Hyper Carry is stronger is because Evernight benefits more from action advance than Casterus does. So RMC is like a game changer for Evernight. While for Cassie, it's like eh. Like you give Cassie an action advance, and that's like 40-50% ult charge. While for Evernight, that's an entirely new attack. So does Casterus E0 do more damage than Evernight E2? I don't know. Maybe. Probably. No clue. The thing you guys need to keep in mind, E2 Evernight isn't only buffing Evernight. The E2 allows for... Actually, no, yeah, no, she probably wouldn't. The E2 allows for more frequency of attacks, which leads to more HP gen for Casterus' ultimate. And then the E1 is like an entire team-wide buff, not only specific to Evernight. So no, Cassie's probably still stronger. You really need to give Evernight an action advancer to see the shine in her Eidolon and main DPS. But without an action advancer and everyone's sitting ducks, then Cassie is usually better because she just gets free ult charge from like enemies attacking. Yeah. Does Cassie get one turn ultimates with her E2? depends what you mean. Like, if she uses an ult on one turn, and if she'll be able to get another ult by her next turn, yes. But if her own turn, only her turn and nobody else is able to get her an ult, no. Can you show us your clears? No. I mean, I've already cleared everything but AA. Because I don't care about AA. Oh wait, I haven't done APOC actually. I guess I forgot to do APOC on this account. But that's everything. I have E2 Firefly. And then I have the premium dot team, so... Live APOC showcase, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it until I get another sustain. Well, I could try sustainless dot, maybe. No, it might be hard to do without Ruan Mei. Because Ruan Mei, I think, is my only AoE buffer on this account. Yeah. Silverwolf, maybe? Gallagher for a break, it's really bad. It's like so bad you don't understand. If this is the... Yeah, it's Pollux. Like, yeah, no. The problem is Pollux. Pollux is too hard of a counter. That's something I'd prefer to do on my own time. Yeah, I don't have anybody who can counter Pollux. So it's just like... I'd have to use Firefly probably for the weakness implant. But it would not be pretty, man. It really wouldn't be pretty at all. I'll be right back. I'm probably not gonna answer these Silverwolf SB Sparksy things anymore. It's tiring, man. I'm answering the same question like every 5 minutes. But yes, for Silverwolf you'd want Sparksy. I got it B1 on release and Impulse a redraw because I didn't like an Ox or a Phanon. Missed High Scene first banner and she didn't rerun until Cyrene. I got rug pulled out from under me. Yeah, my day just sucked. My day got shafted incredibly hard. It was pretty sad. He isn't bad these days in sustain Hyacine teams with like Saridra plus, what is it, like Tribby? I think, is his best in slot team. Tribby's a Saridra and then like Sustain Hyacine. But I mean, they just got rid of his gameplay. Like the little bit of gameplay he had with like, oh, you want to build up charge and let him get hit for God Slayers. Oh, you know what? Cyrene just gives him God Slayers. Further diminishing the value of anything beyond his E2, which is like, I mean, I guess. I fucking guess. Yeah, like it's just a hard ass wheelchair. Like you can put fucking Evernight in that team, replace Tribby with, or sorry, replace Aridra with RMC, and I mean Evernight slams because there's actually some synergy there. W Aridra video, people need to see the truth for what it is. I mean, it's kind of obvious. People, okay, listen, I talk about best in slot quite often as well. However, things like opportunity cost are also very important to consider, if not the most important a lot of the time. And that's what people forget. They see Saridra best in slot without actually telling people it's like 25% and how easy it is to make up for that difference by going for other investment options on the team and how prone to power creep that is as well. Before, people accuse me of like, oh, this is just, future railing. How do you know there will release some generalist support power creep who can be competitive on Saridra's buffs for Phanon? And legit, like, I mean, Buff Sparkle already proved this, unfortunately, right? And I do say unfortunately because I literally wanted her to get nerfed, but she didn't. So, because of Buff Sparkle's existence, everything I said about Saridra was correct. She is definitely going to age the worst. All they need to do is add one more Buff Sparkle level action advancer, and it's just fucking over. Like, it's just over. You wouldn't use Saridra Cyrene anymore. You'd use Sparkle plus another AA or opportunity cost. Opportunity cost is like if I have an E1 Phanon and someone is telling me Saridra best in slot, so I should get Saridra. That shit is stupid. Because if I put one cost into Phanon for that E2, it's astronomically more valuable. That's how opportunity cost works. It depends on the person's account and investment in characters that they already have. If you are a completely new account, then Saridra has more value. Because, I mean, you don't have Sunday. You do have Buff Sparkle, but you don't have Sunday. You probably don't have Tribby. So then it's like, yeah, I'd get Saridra, because if not, I'm going to be waiting fucking long as hell for any other alternatives. But if you are someone who's been in the game for a while, you got a Sunday, you got a Sparkle, obviously RMC is free, you maybe have a Tribby, Robin, like, this is when, things start to change. Like, you already have so many supports. You don't need to get another one for so-called horizontal investment, right? Like, you just don't need to. Also, Phanon Sustainless with double action advancer is a lot easier than he used to be. Like, you used to actually have a decent chance of dying on the second rotation because Saridra isn't an action advancer, and the old best Sustainless team for him had Tribby, which also wasn't an action advancer. But now that you have double action advancer with like zero issues on the SP economy, I'm pretty sure you can probably guarantee two ults with Sustainless Phanon even without Cyrene, and it isn't that hard anymore because of Sparkle. So, I mean, it might even be possible to do three. Depends on the type of content you're going up against, though. Yeah, exactly. You and Maru, bro? What was that? What was what? We see you, Goon Maru? Wait, what? I was looking at the windows because someone in the chat said that some windows look like PNGs. What did I even do? I'm not even trolling this time. Wait, what did I do? Wait, I'm actually lost. Did I Someone in the chat said the windows are PNG, so I was looking at did I do something? Wait, let me go back. What did I do? I don't see it. Oh, when I was looking up at the moon can wink at you though, Coda. The moon can wink at you sometimes. Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. Okay, man. Like, okay, I get it now. Guy did a basic attack as well. Yeah, whatever. I did not plan that. I was looking at the moon. Gooning competition? Nah, I'd win. Like Gojo. I believe Gabby. Thank you. Someone believes me. I'm innocent. I am innocent. How do you feel about the allegations that you are a bad HSR player? Um, I mean, they are wrong. I'm not some sustainless zero cycler like HOS. I could go out of my way to min max relics and theory craft rotations for that type of content, but I don't want to. So, most of the time, my content is like for more relatable player base, where I've kind of normalized sustain teams and running sustain teams, unless it's a team that can run sustainless a lot easier, like Break Firefly with Ruan May, Phanon, like a few exceptions like that. What Pro does on Fortnite in his spare time? Yeah, I go crazy over the Lexa skin, definitely. But yeah, I'm not like the best player. I 100% agree if anybody says that. But anybody who tries to use that as an excuse for like my opinions being more invalid, like that's where it's probably dumb. Because I just look at character kits and read them, and then I actually go out of my way to learn like team rotations, this, that, this character does this. Like, I don't do that for my normal play. Like, I just fucking throw whatever I have at endgame and it works. Is going for horizontal investment bad nowadays? No. Here's the thing. This Phanon situation and like Saridra and stuff, this is an exception. Okay? And much more so as of recent, especially with the introduction of Mono Rem, has horizontal investment been beating vertical investment decently often. And especially the worst case so far is Yao Guang. If you run Yao Guang with any elation DPS and then you remove her, the drop off is astronomical. Like it is disgusting how bad it is. So, as of recent, they have been making characters a lot more reliant on their designated supports as compared to what it's ever been before. And it's only been increasing more and more. You should join me in Kekvin on Fortnite on the 26th when the HSR collab happens. HSR collab. I mean, I said I wasn't even gonna pull for them though. Wait, no. Okay, you can't pull for characters in Fortnite. My bad. I'm probably not gonna buy the skins though.
Any fish taking the bait?
Fish. I guess I'll just keep pulling E0 as 0 then. Yeah. In a lot of case scenarios, that's better. I'm copying Blade 100%. I maybe would have copped Blade, Coda, because there was like this leak a few weeks back that if you spent money on Epic Games, like you just get a free Blade if you spent enough. So like if that was the case, I maybe would have done it. But then they said like nah. And I've also recently spent money on Fortnite to get other characters as well. So it's like I'm really stingy. I'm really stingy with myself when it comes to spending money outside of gotchas. Because, like, if I spend money on gotchas, it's already annoying because of how expensive it can be. But, like, I can make money off of my videos of me spending money on gacha and the characters I attain. It's not really the same with Fortnite. So, I'm, like, really skeptical when I spend money on that game. We have fish, but not shark girl. I've always talked. I used to have like a running trend for like a few weeks on my channel, a few months back, where I was like waiting until they add Ellen Joe into HSR. I had to stop it though, because I mean it was going on too long, and it was obvious that we weren't getting Lushaka for 4.0 anymore. Kind of sad. But yeah, that was the thing. Ellen Joe is like definitely one of, if not arguably, my favorite gacha character. I know what you mean. I spent over 200 for a Blade video for content and I did not make it back. Really? Coda? Spent 200? What was it about? Was it Nova Flare Blade or something else? Also, when is Ashvale V3? I swear it's been forever at this point. Sparkle or Ellen? I'd probably choose Ellen. Sparkle's my favorite from HSR though. It's still being worked on? Oh, I see, I see. I probably won't even show me spending it. Yeah, understandable. But wow. I mean, it's an investment, I guess. Maybe if it bangs and goes crazy. Yao Guang and Sparksy are inseparable for Elation. They'll probably be inseparable for Silverwolf, but not for any of the... Like for Evanesia, she doesn't want Sparksy. Probably not. Evanesia seems like a normal hyper carry. Sparksy has hyper carry option. Evanesia has hyper carry. Silverwolf's probably going to be the only one who runs mono elation. Well, Evanesia could theoretically also get mono elation with like a future remembrance or sorry, elation sustain, right? But it'd be like Evernight hyper carry versus mono rem. Like most people, when they say Monorem, they refer to the Cassie team and not Evernight, RMC, Cyrene, Hyacine. So can we agree Bounce is overrated? I think Bounce is probably the best damage type in the entirety of the game. So long as they're tuned well enough for it. Literally the only mode where Bounce DPSs can really hurt is Pure Fiction. But because of the existence of Dan Heng PT and his Eidolon investment, like if you're not someone who's scared of going for Eidolons, like it becomes a non-issue. You have a shit ton of Dan Heng PT dragons that go off every cycle, which can make up for attack frequency. But in MLC and APOC, bounce DPSs are like really, really strong and really good. What are you doing? Please don't spam. He said, sorry, he did not mean it. Uh, Fine, I'll change it to 5 minutes, man. I'll change it to 5 minutes. I'm sorry, but, like, come on, dude. Flip a coin moment. Yeah, it's like I've gotten a lot of spammers in my chat. Um, it hasn't been that bad. For the most part, I've gone off fine. Probably the worst case I've ever had was I had someone who made hundreds of different accounts during the Wuwa Annie drama who infested every stream and constantly came back with accounts, and I had to constantly ban them, but they don't exist anymore. But I just don't like spamming. That also wasn't the first spam. That was like the second or third one from the same person, so I thought it was on purpose. Who's the character in the Elation Path you're most looking forward to? Evanesia, probably. I mean, both Silverwolf and Evanesia. I like Evanesia's design more because it's like more fresh, it's more unique. Um, but Silverwolf is also one of my favorite characters in the game, so and looks really cool. That's some odd dedication. Yeah, it was weird at the time, but it's no longer the case. Evanesia is a cutie pie, yeah. I really like the ears. The ears are really unique. I wish OG Silverwolf was in the shop. Same. If they added OG Silverwolf to the shop, I'd get a free E2, and then I'd probably run the Acheron. Because then I'd have E0 S1 Acheron with E2 Silverwolf with buff Sparkle, which is like actually really viable. Elation will definitely have a best in slot sustain. I don't know if it'll be better than sustainless, probably not. But once again, sustainless is not something that most teams can easily do. Like they will be able to easily do it temporarily because of their strength, but they aren't a break or a phanon which can last multiple cycles in all likelihood. So while you can run sustainless, you're always going to want the sustain for comfort. And then the sustain is also going to have vertical investment so that they can end up beating sustainless anyways, right? Like, for example, at E1 with Dan Hung PT, which is technically one cost if you got him free, he does beat Bronya with, like, Phanon sustainless. He beats a literal Harmony buffer. And it's easier to make an Elation sustain stronger for their niche than it is to make a general attack scaler, so. Do you think Acheron will get a Nova Flare in the future? Yes, for sure. Definitely. Either, my guess is either the end of version 4 or early in version 5 makes the most sense. Acheron is incredibly popular. She is like the next most popular character in this game from Firefly. So, with that being the case, I don't think they'd miss the chance to buff Acheron. If they make the sustain broken, then she'll be usable in non-elation teams? No, not in my opinion. This is going to be a Hyacine situation, probably. People might overrate the sustain because of their damage that they can do. Because, I mean, it's a mono-elation team. They obviously want the sustain to do damage. But they'll be disappointed going into the future that the sustain won't be best in slot for anybody. So overhyped like Hyacine, basically. You think the Relic Recon event is going to come back anytime soon? I think they'll only do it on important patches. Like, I see it on Anniversary and End of Planet patches, but not something that consistently happens at all. Yeah, Relic Recon allowed me to get a really good Relic set for Dan Hung PT or Cyrene across all my accounts without needing to farm at all, which is like really cool. I really like that.
Does that hurt?
You think why they did not make any elation damage percent in relics is because Yao Guang has it in her kit? Well, thank God they didn't add elation damage percent in relics. I already have enough bullshit RNG to deal with. I don't want more. But yes, they also want to sell the buff on premium supports. Like, Yao Guang is the only elation buffer in the game. There isn't anybody else. It's literally only Yao Guang. And my guess is EMC will also have elation damage buffing, but that's the only other one. Do you play Enfield? No, I gave it a shot. It felt really well optimized, but it was not my thing with the factory system. Convenience plays a pretty big role for me and with how many gacha accounts I play, and Arknights did not feel all that convenient to me, so I decided to not play it. If I were to play another gacha, it would probably be ZZZ. Like, that's the only other gacha I'd imagine I'd maybe really get into at some point. But every time I've tried so far, it hasn't really worked. I like the characters, I just don't like too much just ZZZs in general. I don't know how to put it. like ZZZ combat and the frequent endgame resets. Also, I preferred the characters from 1.x there. Yeah, that's understandable. ZZZ also has the best pull income among the mainstream gachas. Um, they gave a free monthly pass recently. They have that like new banner system. It's pretty cool. They've also started to give free limited 5 stars like with Zao. So ZZZ definitely has it probably the best out of all the mainstream gachas for getting characters, which is nice, but what's the main reason you quit Genshin? Woo. And the exploration. Genshin is a scam. Now, I'm not saying people who play the game are like, oh, you should quit. You should quit the game so bad. I'm not one of those people. But the thing I don't like about Genshin is when they add a new region, already the polls are low as fuck, by the way. Like, among the mainstream games, Genshin easily has the lowest poll count. But outside of that, a good amount of the poll count is hidden behind exploration and like annoying quests. The game has no skip button, despite being over half a decade old at this point. So no matter what, you have to deal with going through the story regularly, right? And the exploration is so much slower and worse than Wuwa that it feels like a chore to go through after playing Wuwa. Before I played Wuwa, I had no problem with it because like Genshin was the standard. But the second I was able to get a taste of something significantly better and I tried going back, it was miserable for me. There's no other way I can put it. And keep in mind, this was before Wuwa added flight. This was before they added the motorbike. This was just normal Wuwa stamina. Because Wuwa stamina will literally last forever, and you can jump significantly higher. There are some Genshin characters I absolutely adore, though. I came back for one of the characters I promised I'd come back for, but I didn't come back for the other one. Ever since the first, like, Fatui Harbingers trailer came out, I promised myself I'd come back to Genshin and I'd pull two characters when they became playable, which were Arlecchino and Columbina, right? These were the two. I came back and I did get Arlecchino. I then tried to come back when it was confirmed Columbina would be playable in a few patches, and I couldn't. I just couldn't force myself to do it. So I got no Columbina, and the other one that I would possibly fold on was Skirk as well. Because I absolutely love Skirk. She's hot as shit. But I didn't fold on her either. Because once again, couldn't force myself.
Any fish taking them there?
Yeah, exactly, Calben. That's how I feel with ZZZ especially. Like, ZZZ has so many characters that I like. But I don't like playing the game itself all that much, in all honesty. Which isn't surprising. Like, I'm kind of a gooner. And ZZZ is like the gooner game. So it has the most characters that I like. I'll be right back. Give me like 1 or 2 minutes. There we go. Ah. Any Cypher Glazers in the chat? I think most people like Cypher. Cypher is like probably the character I see people are most open to, saying like they really, really like her because of her personality traits and, well, being a cat girl. That probably plays a pretty big part now that I think about it. That goon is fast. That was not a goon. Her personality, yeah, man, you a goon. I mean, it's true. She has probably the most lively personality of all the heirs. But yes, she's also hot as fuck, so it's like... I mean, I don't try to hide it necessarily. I pretty frequently post on my community posts. Ooh, a chest. Game changing.
How about exchanging this for some honey brew?
Cypher and Phanon are the most goated heirs personality-wise. Yeah, I agree. That laugh is devilish, yeah. Shame ZZZ makes little men because they absolutely cook with them. It's actually kind of funny that, like, isn't HSR the Hoyo game that makes the most men? I think it is at this point now. I think so, yeah. Huh? Oh. Saridra was a bit irritating in the story. Yeah, I can maybe see someone not liking Saridra as much. She's hot though, so. Oh, whoops. Whoops. Those are some serious moves. Thanks, man. Wait, what was that? Oh, it was just a thing blinking. Oh, yeah. Oh, wait, is this a 20? 20 jades? Yeah. Sari mid at best. Don't wake up tomorrow. Is this the new... Do I even need a... No, I'm not pulling... I don't have Yao going on this one, right? Yeah, I don't need to worry about this then. I saw a chest. Stop thinking with your balls? What? Sarita's just goated, man. It has nothing to do with how hot she is. Who's more free to play friendly, Luke or Ameth? Neither. I guess Ameth. Because she at least has an alternative to Linné with like Lupa Monofusion with Mornai. But Luke doesn't have any alternative to Linné. Luke has Sanhua. Sanhua is like astronomically worse than Linné for Luke. What the hell's going on? This place is pretty cool though. I got over 940 poles. Nice. Luke with Sanhua is around Augusto Mortefi level. That was 0 faults in like a 35-second rotation. And is that DPR or DPS? I don't think Buff Sealed will use Ash Veil. Ash Veil's DPS is for like much later on. Buff Seal is probably still going to use the same like wheelchair team of Sunday, Sparkle Tribby or something. It is DPR best based on Chems Calcs? Oh yeah, it's significantly worse then. In order to do the double Sanhua rotation, it's like 30, 35 second. No, yeah, it's like more like 35 plus seconds rotation. So total DPS wise, it's more worse than you people think. Nobody knows what Himiko's gimmick is if she even has one. Does Heislands do damage without E1? Yeah, but E1 Heislands is just a significant jump. Look at these water physics, guys. Oh my goodness. It's crazy. You ever thought about making other types of HSR stuff besides like your thoughts and stuff? What, like challenge content, Coda? I used to do challenge content where like I'd make a new account and I'd clear endgame within that patch or within a one patch time period. And I did it like 3 times at the beginning of Ampho. But aside from that, I've never done anything else challenge wise or like outside of guides and leaks and stuff. Donung PT's tail looks whack. Chill. It looks cool, no? Shrimp tail? You call that a shrimp tail? It basically touches the floor from where it is. Not necessarily challenge stuff, but like endgame clears, like streaming slash making a video of New Pure Fiction or AA. I did used to do that, Coda, but the thing is, I always thought to myself, and I could be wrong, like, does anyone actually expect me to struggle clearing this endgame? You know what I'm saying? And there is a few exceptions. For example, I usually do upload my clears for clearing endgame content, but only for my free to play account. Because that's the one that like some people are interested in. Like, oh, does this guy need money to be able to clear this game's endgame? But outside of my free to play account, it's like my main account has E2S1 mono rem. you know, they now have free buff sparkle. So Archer team, it has a Phanon, it has an Anoxa. Um, this account, this account has premium dot that can just zero cycle everything. And then the second team is a little scuffed on this one. So maybe I could show them like, oh, you know, here's a Firefly without Dahlia and the big 26 or something like that. But for the most part, like everybody on my channel basically expects me to clear endgame anyways, no matter what. Like they all know I have no issues with it. So I haven't really bothered making videos about it. I don't know, I could change that in the future, but I don't feel like many would be interested in that. Yeah, I know what you mean. I think about that pretty often because it's what happened to me. My account essentially became insta clear after the 5th one I made. Yeah, exactly, Coda. And like even my free to play account, Coda, it's kind of funny, right? But my free to play account should be my account that has the easiest time clearing endgame across all of the ones I currently own once I'm able to get Saridra and Cyrene. Because it has an E1 Archer with E1 Tribby with buff Sparkle, and then it'll have an E6 Anoxa with Saridra Cyrene. So because I pulled strictly for meta on that one, it's going to have the easiest time, which is like, you know, and then people, once I'm able to do this true zero cycle, which I'll probably do soon, people are probably going to be like, you know, you have E6 and Noxa doesn't count or some shit like that. We'll see how that goes though. How much time do you play daily out of curiosity? If we're talking about maintaining my accounts, almost nothing. Like, doing dailies on my 3 HSR accounts probably takes 10 to 15 minutes. And sometimes I don't even do dailies on all of them out of laziness. And then my WUA account, it's like also about 3 minutes. Because all you need to do is use 180 wave plates and you're done. Like, you already maxed out the daily. So, about 15 to 20 minutes to maintain all 4 of my main gacha accounts. If we include how much I play outside of maintaining, none unless I'm streaming or making a video. That's usually how it goes. Or it's like a new planet or something. So I need to get through that. But if there isn't like a new planet or anything, I don't play this game off video, off stream almost at all. Unless I'm just that bored at some point. But it's not normal. The majority of the time I spend when it comes to like HSR stuff is theorizing and talking about character kits, character teams, leaks, and I try my best to have decent foresight and predictions to help my audience more when it comes to pulling characters. Because in gachas, I mean, it helps a lot to have as much foresight as possible and understanding of character kits, possible teammates they could get, future potential, shit like that, right? That's mainly what this channel is kind of based around. I made a free-to-play account and waited for this new path. Playing on it consistently is actually kind of painful though, so I respect you. Yeah, thank you, Coda. Don't worry, I'm also like very lazy, Coda. You aren't the only one who probably feels that way. Very often, like if I have hard goals on a couple accounts but not the rest, I may even go up to a week without logging in to some of my accounts. I did this most notably with my free-to-play one. The second I could clear all endgame content on my free-to-play account, made my video on it, like, I didn't log into it for a very solid amount of time, and I lost a lot of pulls because of that. It doesn't even have Ceridra's Lycone, by the way. My Anoxa account doesn't have Ceridra's Lycone from the event. So, because I didn't play that entire patch. Fuck, dude. I'm on month 2. Hey. I no-lifed in all fairness, Coda. I really no-lifed it back then. Like, I even sometimes did streams of me, like, no-lifing. Keep in mind, there was no skip button at the time. So, it was me fucking powering through every single planet possible as quickly as I could. And I would, like, get a little money off stream VODs and shit. Barely any, but some. Luck also plays a factor. Yeah, now with skip buttons, it's astronomically faster. You can probably, if you no-life the game, you can probably finish every single planet in like 2 or 3 days. Oh, by the way, Coda, do you still get Dan Hung PT for free still? Or nah? Like, do you still get it? Since you made a new account? Yeah, you get him? Oh, nice. When I logged in a while ago, yeah, I got him? I see, I see. But yeah, I can show you the dot characters. So, this is the Kafka. 105 effect hit rate. Energy regen 124. Some attack 157 speed. These are the relics, right? We got 3 rolls here. We got quad roll with attack percent. We got double roll into speed. We have this triple roll into EHR. And then we have this kind of underwhelming and this rope right here. Get her to 167 speed. You say that like it's easy, man. It is not easy to get her to 167. I'd have to get, I guess, an attack percent rope with more EHR and speed. And I guess like 8 speed on one of these, but like it's so min-maxy, man. Like, why don't I just run sustainless with an E1 Mei who gives a 10 speed buff instead? Like, where is it? Yeah. Same thing. Oh yeah, that's only Kafka though. I should probably show more. Heistlands, 135 speed, 120 effect hit rate. Black Swan Cone, E1. She is using this right here. Not a single missed roll. She has this triple roll. She has this body, which is a triple roll again. Attack percent boots, triple roll again. Orb, triple roll again. And then rope, which is the underwhelming thing. This rope is like pretty underwhelming, I'm not gonna lie. And then Swan. Swan's on 135 EHR with 3600 attack. She has triple roll, triple roll. This one's but it is what it is. Quad roll into attack percent, double roll into speed, and this quad roll into EHR. So yeah, that's the DOT team on this account. I built all of them within about 2 days with tens of thousands of relic remains and self-modeling resin. Black Swan is E1? No. I mean, I can show it against MOC again like I did last stream, but it's kind of overkill.
Do you want to enter the...
Oh wait, wrong thing. Because it's so easy to run sustainless.
Sound lingers. Make a wish. Any fish taking the bait. Does that hurt?
Is it worth pulling Dahlia for my Firefly? Yes, it is. Firefly's gonna get Nova flared soon.
Stand still. Time to say bye. Boom.
Don't let waves open your throat. Think with me.
Relax.
Some value, I suppose.
Stand still. May as well kill them all.
Every petal...
All will be swept away by the wind. Relax. Good times. Time to say bye. Boom.
Memories beneath the waters lies an endless abyss.
Stand still.
In the abyss's revels, your cry...
Firefly felt so lively again after Dahlia came on her team? Oh, for sure. Can't wait till the Nova Flare as well.
Ill fate descends.
Relax.
Be intoxicated. There's more to life.
Say bye to breathe. Good times. Time to say bye.
30%. One last follow-up. Finish it off, Swan. Finish it off. Oh my goodness. GG's.
手強い相手です。マスター、安全な体勢で臨みましょう。
So yeah, that's the dot team. It's E1 May and E1 S1 Heislands with Black Swans cone, a E0 S0 Swan, and an E1 Kafka. So like 2, 3, wait no, 2 cost, 5, and 6. So a 6 cost dot team. Well, 8 if you include E1 May, but like this was free. I just used the golden tokens on it. Kafka should be 1. Nah, I don't want to lie. Because, like, I use my selector on Buff Sparkle. Like, in my opinion, what should be commonplace in this community probably is a differentiation between cost and limited. So cost is like how much something personally costed the person's account. And then limited is just straight up how many 5 stars there are. Like limited 5 stars. And I think that would fix a lot of the, discussion around whether or not cost is a good metric. So for me personally, I did just fully pull this E1 Kafka. There was no getting it from the selector. Why you kinda tough? Hey, that dot team's crazy, cause I don't even know, like, I didn't look up a guide on how to play dot at all. At all. It's really, I didn't know this, but it is genuinely one of the most brain dead teams in the game. For some reason, I thought dot would be like way harder to understand. When 0 cost is E0 S1 Archer, E0 Sparkle, E1 Ruan Main, E0 Donhung PT, the system is cooked. I mean, it's not wrong depending on the person. Like, for example, on my Anoxa account, like, that is real. I did get E0 S1 Archer for free because I pulled for E1 Tribby and Sunday Light Code on the 3.4 patch. Obviously, Archer's free. I did get Don Hung. I did get the E1 May through golden tokens. It has an S5 DDD. Like, I didn't have to spend anything for that team. And the Buff Sparkle. At all. Just passively gained it over time. It's like, you can no longer really ignore it when the value's that good. I mean, people can count May as cost for themselves. But once again, depending on the person's account, like, you just can't say that. Like, it didn't cost me shit, man. Also, free skin. Free skin. Oh, a boba. Oh my goodness. Gumaru, chill. Caught me lacking. What is Road trying to look at? Nothing, dude. I'm admiring the new skin that they added. I didn't really get a good look at it before, so I wanted to, understand the fine detail and things that wouldn't be easily caught. That's all it was. Trust.
Take a rest. It's time for tea and
For Bobo. What do you got for me for Bobo? Oh. Friends? Why do people want to be friends with me? Kanji and Axios. Don't be greedy and stupid. Great advice, great advice. Thanks for the accept, no problem. I don't have issues accepting people. I don't talk to anybody anyways. So sad. But yeah, this Ruan Mei skin is actually a banger in my opinion. I saw people complaining about it, but it was pretty hard. Pretty good skin overall. Skin's pretty good, yeah, for sure. If we look at the Sparksy Relic set, it talks about Elation Skill / Memo Sprite. Yeah, I know, but I have zero clue if they're gonna make an Elation character with a Memo Sprite. Or like who would even be. No, I don't know. The reason I don't know is because you could literally go either way. You could say Evanesia because she can draw things and make them reality. Or you can say Silverwolf SP, where she's like a Cyrene situation, where her bigger version unlocks an ult. Like you could go either or. Which makes it really hard to be like, oh yeah, this one's definitely going to be the one with a Memo Sprite. People find a way to complain about anything in this game. Take Dahlia, for example. Yeah, I remember that. People were lying about Hoyo referencing something else that was a lot more gruesome. And then when people finally found out that, well, people were just lying about the entire thing, like nobody even took accountability for all the posts they made about it. And they just decided to like drag Hoyo's name through the mud. I don't care because I'm not here to defend the company, but like, man, people really look for anything to hate this game. Free characters equals they're about to power creep those free characters within a couple patches. Good amount of pulls equals they're doing this because you need to pull the newest characters, otherwise you won't be able to clear. If you don't have a million cutscenes in the story, then it's, oh, black screen, white text, this shit blows. If they make a lot of money, it's, oh my god, look at all these idiots spending money on this gacha game. If they make a low amount of money, then it's, oh, people are finally waking up to Hoyo's greedy practices and going to other gacha games that are better. This is why I don't participate in this gacha war shit. Unless it's like someone is very obviously spreading misinformation and I get annoyed enough. So I make a video about it. Yeah, well, dude, probably one of the funniest things of being on like Twitter sometimes is seeing people genuinely try to argue, oh, I would prefer 4 stars over the free limited 5 stars. And the free limited 5 stars do not help the 4-star drought. Now, I agree that both is the best case, but be fucking for real. They would never make a 4-star as strong as Buff Sparkle. They would never make a 4-star as strong of a sustain as Dan Heng PT with his strong as vertical investment. They would never give you a DPS as strong as Archer for free. And then keep in mind, not only are these characters free, like you just log in, you don't need a pull at all unlike 4-star characters. They actually give you the mats to level up these characters all the way to level 60 as well. Like, you only need to do half the farming. Low-key might do it on purpose to rage bait you. Be on the lookout. Oh no, Coda, please. I fall for rage bait too easily these days, man. Oh. No, exactly. Like, here's the thing. People talk about 4-stars and then don't consider the fact that one, it's like less than a 1 of 3 chance for you to get a specific 4-star you want. 2, you need to pull on banners and most of the time hit a 10 pull pity to actually even get a 4-star at all. And then 3, it's like, why would you, they don't even get as strong as the free limited 5-stars even at E6. Like, you know what? Let's just go through this account, right? This account has E6 Yukong, Jue Yi, Dan Heng, doesn't have E6 Arlon. No E6. E6, 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 E6. That is a 5-star. E6, E6. I think this one was recent. I recently got this one. E6, 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 E2, E6, E6, and those are all my 4-stars. So keep in mind, you might think, right? Oh, that's not bad. You got all those 4-stars. The money spent on this account, I've bought in every fucking pack, and this account is decently old. You know what I'm saying? Where is... One second. W Goon? Oh yeah, this one. Monthly pass is $7 for you? Yes, it is. This account is more than 2 years old. More than 2.5 years old. It spent that much money. It has all of these 5 stars and limited characters, and I still have multiple 4 stars not E6'd. Like, when are we getting gender bent Dan Heng? Good luck. Good luck on that one. You think you really shouldn't get Saridra? Yeah. Only new player DPS is Phanon? I mean, if you're a completely new player, I was talking about this early in the stream today, that you have less support options, so it might be worth it to get Saridra so you can free up like Sparkle Sunday for someone else. But outside of that, no, it's not really worth it. Not in my opinion, at least. Yeah, it's like hella RNG on getting 4 stars and getting them E6. It can take quite a while sometimes. Can you tell me if I need to pull any of the 4.0 characters for Silverwolf? I think Sparksy is a guarantee, and I also think Yao Guang is a guarantee. But if it comes down to either of the two being replaced in a Silverwolf team, the more likely option is probably Yao Guang. But even then, I do not think Yao Guang will be replaced. Unlike a lot of people currently who think Buff Sparkle is going to be better than Yao Guang for Silverwolf. People on Reddit said now that the leakers are gone, that only Gabimaru has leaks. They're probably trolling. I don't got no leaks, man. All I can do is predict character value off of kits. Okay, thank you, no problem. Whee. How much punchline do you think Silverwolf is going to need for her ultimate? My guess has been 50. I think 50 makes sense. Because as of current, and I imagine in a 3 Elation team, you'd probably be able to get like 2 Silverwolf ults in each cycle of a 0 cycle if it was like 50. If you make it 100, then I feel like it's just way too much and too slow to get Silverwolf ult. If you make it lower, I think you break the game by making her being able to ult spam way too much. So I think the sweet spot is probably 50 punchline. You'll probably only see Silverwolf being able to spam ults a lot crazier, probably near the end of the version when they add an elation sustain. So you can have mono elation and like all 4 characters are generating punchline. Yang is not a guarantee. She'll only get 1 full elation DPS. No. They're just gonna keep Yao Guang, dude. People who say this do not understand the synergy between Yao Guang and Sparksy. Like, this is the problem. The only way that you can think this way is if you do not understand what Yao Guang does in a team paired with Sparksy. If you are ignorant to it, then yeah, you can say Yao Guang would get replaced. Otherwise, no. It's not happening. What if her ult unlocks an enhanced state? I mean, it could. I don't know. Should I pull Yao Guang on the free-to-play account for Sparksy, Mr. Goon? Yes, Coda. He's like... I shared a calc on my community post a few days ago that got people up in arms. Like, oh my goodness. It is so bad using anybody not named Yao Guang with Sparksy DPS. It's so much worse. It's still clear, probably, without Yao Guang. Just because, like, they're getting shielded so hard. But, man, it was for sure something. That's all I'm going to say. Yeah, EMC will probably be a budget option of Yao Guang. That's likely how this is going to go. And this is exactly why Evanesia's team uses both EMC and Yao Guang. It's no different to how a lot of the Chrysos heirs would use RMC plus Cyrene for some of their teams. Right. Same thing happening here. Even if they both give the same buffs, and they might action advance or get a hot instant and all that, a combo of the two is still incredibly strong. And there obviously isn't any other elation supports in the works. So I'm not expecting her to be best in slot for 2 teams. What is Cyrene? What is Hyacine? How many teams are those two best in slot for? That's all I want to ask you. Because people always say this. How many teams is Cyrene best in slot for? Is it only one? Or Hyacine, is it only one HP scaler? Sunday is a generalist buffer with a slight bias of giving a DPS more damage bonus if they have a summon. Yao Guang, almost her entire kit is dedicated towards only Elation characters. And outside of Elation teams, she is mid. They are the complete opposite of each other. You know what would be a funny result of Evanesia's team? Evanesia maybe a cost chester like E9 compared to Castris, since Silverwolf will prefer her premium team? I don't think so. I think Evanesia... I think the only reason Evernight is so much stronger than Cassie in terms of cost investment is because she was the last DPS of the version, and she released 4 patches after Castris. So they automatically tuned her more with better Eidolon investment. But since Evanesia and Silverwolf are on the same patch, I think Evanesia will no matter what be weaker than Silverwolf. Cost versus cost, probably. I could be wrong, but I don't think they'll pull an Evernight Cassie situation this time. That'd be true if Anoxa didn't exist. Anoxa wasn't part of the same path as Cassie and also wanted the same best in slots. The only difference between best in slots for Silverwolf and as well as Evanesia is one wants Sparksy, the other one wants EMC. So that's like a 1 cost difference. But it's not like a Noxa who could just use generalist supports who are free. Yeah. You think Elation Sustain will do damage like Hyacine? Yeah. I mean, have you seen Yao Guang's damage? Yao Guang does more damage than Hyacine, and she's the quote-unquote support. So I imagine for sure that they'd make the Sustain do damage too. It'll be a mono Elation team, just like mono Rem. Just fucking copy-paste, translate it for Elation, and that's what mono Elation is going to be. They're going to have a shit ton of out-of-turn attacks, so that they don't rely on action advance just like Mono Rem. Everyone's going to do damage like Mono Rem. They're all going to have like specific buffs for each of them that's unsaturated, just like Mono Rem. And then they're all going to have broken ass vertical investment for their best in slot team, just like Mono Rem. That's like the template that Hoyo uses at this point. You have Yao Guang, who gives elation damage buffing. You have Sparksy, who gives crit damage and punchline buffing. You have the Elation Sustain, which will probably have their own unique buff if I had to guess, similar to Hyacine with the max HP. And then you just have the DPS. And then Sparksy's Eidolon investment is really good for Silverwolf because it's extra punchline and turns. Sparksy's Eidolon investment becomes stronger when paired with Yao Guang because yes, Yao Guang's forced AHA instance from ult do work with Sparksy's Eidolons, so more punchline and more extra turns. I mean, writing is on the fucking wall. It couldn't get any more obvious, in all honesty. This is why I say it might sound egotistical, and I understand it, right? People might think I'm egotistical for saying this, but if you genuinely read these kits, you read vertical investment, you have an idea of how Mono Rem was built. Mono Elation is not getting rid of Yao Guang. Everything about her is way too synergistic, and it's almost disgusting. Like even Cyrene does not have this level of like niche power up for even some of her best teams like Yao Guang does. Why does the skin look worse than base Firefly? What do you mean? She's the GOAT, man. The skin's the GOAT. No, I haven't seen the leak. Unless you're talking about the test team. Yeah, they're testing EMC. I mean, I'm not surprised. They need to test EMC. They don't have any choice. If EMC is merrymaking, Yao Guang is done. EMC is probably not going to give merrymaking. I don't know why so many people think this. Even if EMC gives merrymaking, the one who'd most likely get it is a sustain and not another EMC. What is merrymaking? It's an elation buff that is currently tied to something expensive as shit, which is Yao Guang Z1. Oh wait, I don't have Yao Guang on this account. Or sorry, Yao Guang Z6. Yao Guang Z6 gives 25% merrymaking, which is like basically the equivalent of undiluted true damage buff for elation damage. But even people who say this, it's like, you say, you know, oh, this character is going to have merrymaking. Who gives a shit? Elation can use res pen. Elation can use vulnerability. Elation can use defense shred. You can match merrymaking with other buffs anyways. I don't know why people say this shit. They're not giving that for free. The only way I see merrymaking getting added is on a sustain for the last undiluted buff on an elation team. But if they don't do that, then yeah. Because like for example, you had Tribby, right? Tribby had the true damage in her E1. You know what I'm saying? Like that's decently attainable until you get the actual person with true damage in their base kit being Cyrene near the end of the version. For Yao Guang, they clearly value merrymaking way more than they value true damage for whatever fucking reason, because it's locked behind Yao Guang's E6. You know what I'm saying? Like that's fat, dude. That is fucking fat. Like this shit is behind the E6. Yao's punchline from the ult is fixed. I feel bad for how many people have been lied to. Oh my fucking goodness. I wonder, you know what? No, I'm not going to make a video on it because I'm tired of talking about Yao Guang so much. Yao Guang's ultimate gives 5 punchline. So many people have been fully brainwashed by creators saying that the ult gives no... The ult gives 5 punchline. It's the aha instant that the ult activates that doesn't give said punchline of 20 or 40 when you get her E1. But her ultimate will always generate 5 punchline. This is in her kit. So her basic is 3 punchline, her skill is 3 punchline, and her ultimate does 5. I mean, do you guys not see how far the Yao Guang dooming has gotten? People don't even know what she actually does. I'm telling you, bro. It's crazy how bad it's gotten. It is crazy. Like, people think I'm exaggerating this shit. Like, no, people have dead ass fallen for misinfo completely. if Yai wants Yao plus EMC, wouldn't it be bad when MC switches paths later on? And there's nothing you can do about it. Like, what do you guys not understand? Before I crash out, when in this game's history have they made multiple teams have full best in slot teammates for every different DPS? Never. The only character in the history of the game who has gotten this is Cassie. That is the only one. Even Evernight Hypercarry, which a lot of people use to compare to Monorem and be like, oh, this is the strongest DPS, is stuck with RMC. They don't have an RMC replacement for Evernight Hypercarry. There's no one. You simply need to suck it up and continue using RMC if you want to run Evernight Hypercarry. So, just like Mono Rem, the only team to get full best in slot teammates dedicated towards them is Silverwolf. Evanesia will leech off of Silverwolf with Yao Guang and the Elation Sustain in the future, but she will not get, likely, her own EMC upgrade, is likely how this entire charade is going to go. So, you have to continue using EMC, or you can use someone else. And it actually works pretty well this way, because keep in mind, Elation only really wants 3 Elation characters. Like, you see this with Sparksy, right? Sparksy Hypercarry wants 3 Elation characters, not 4. They'll probably do something similar for Evanesia, so that later down the line, when there's an Elation Sustain, you just need Evanesia, Elation Sustain, and Yao Guang, and then you hit this 3-man Elation mark, right? So, if you need to switch to another MC, yes, it's going to hurt. It's probably not going to be best in slot to switch to someone else, but it alleviates how much it hurts, right? Like, they clearly have gone out of their way to make certain DPSs that aren't going to get shielded as much in Hypercarry only need a total of 3 Elation units on the team instead of 4. There's most likely a replacement for EMC, though. It's Yao Guang. Oh my god, man. Like, I'm talking about Hyper Elation. They aren't going to make an EMC upgrade for Evanesia. Get it through your skulls, please. Only one team aversion gets this special treatment. They aren't doing this for both of the Elation DPSs, is my point. Good morning, good morning. Not for EMC replacement when you don't even know his kit. There is already a leak that EMC's kit is like Yao Guang's. If EMC's kit is similar to Yao Guang, according to a leaker, what does that imply? Enlighten me. Who else other than RMC buffs true damage and base kit? Only Cyrene. Who else buffs super break out in base kit outside of HMC? Only Fugue. Oh, but they're gonna make 3 characters who buff Elation damage. His Herda Shop Cone literally says that he can only target one ally with both ultimate and skill, which means he's a hyper carry buffer. What is RMC? RMC is a hyper carry buffer. Who's his upgrade? Cyrene, the AoE buffer. What is Yao Guang? An AoE buffer for elation DPSs, with punchline generation, with forced aha instance. Like, HMC? I mean, sure, you can say that, but my point still stands. There's only one other buffer outside of HMC with Super Break, which is Few. If EMC has elation damage buffing, the only current elation damage buffer is Yao Guang. If EMC is a free-to-play version like the leaker said, then, oh my god, wow, surprise, surprise, Yao Guang's the upgrade. You're crashing out? Because I'm seeing the same people who have listened to me go over this 5 times over on streams. Like, I can remember your guys' names saying the same bullshit. And it's like, I could be wrong. They could release some EMC upgrade. Who fucking knows? For Evanesia's hyper carry team. However, logically, it is not sound. Like, you are going on pure cope off of 0 fucking track record. That's all it is. There's like no backing for it. There's no evidence. Nada. It's just pure cope that is keeping that agenda alive. That Evanesia also gets a full premium elation team and not just mono elation with Silverwolf. And if it weren't any more obvious, Sparksy and Yao Guang are probably going to rerun in 4.3, the patch right after 4.2. And yes, this matters. Hoyo really cares about marketing reruns. They know your ass is going to come crawling back to pull Yao Guang for anyone who's been dooming her this entire time, the second they see she's best in slot for both of them. Plus, Yao Guang's banner lasted the entire patch instead of only one phase. Why do you think they did that? Who was the last character who had a banner who ran for the entire patch? Tell me. Tell me right now. Who was it, guys? Come on. Who was it? It was Cyrene. It was Cyrene. Firefly? It is Saber. True. Still up on the banner. Oh my goodness. Saber's the elation buffer, yes. Saber Nova Flare, late 4.x. That's the actual elation sustain. Oh my goodness. But yes, like, almost everything possible is pointing towards Yao Guang being a Cyrene-like support, but for elation, right? Like, only elation. Like, if you put this woman outside of Elation, you can maybe use her. But, like, it's definitely going to be mid, in my opinion. Her value only lies with Elation, which just makes it that much more likely she's staying. By the way, for those who may be curious what I was talking about earlier, I will quickly go over it for you guys. But Yao Guang has insane synergy with Sparksy vertical investment. So, actually, I can't even see Sparksy right now. Yeah, that's annoying. But Sparksy has an E1 where she generates 5 punchline at the end of every AHA instant, and this includes Yao Guang's ult. So if you have an E1 Sparksy, a Yao Guang and a 0 cycle adds 10 more punchline than my last calc, which was 33 with 3 elation, making 43 punchline if you have an E1 Sparksy, right? Plus 15% res pen team wide. And then E2 Sparksy is, she gives herself like multiple thrill at the end of every AHA instant plus an extra turn. So this also synergizes with the forced AHA instant of Yao Guang, leading to even more punchline generation that is only possible because you have Yao Guang on the team. It's like, this is why I always specify Sparksy, right? Like, when I talk about Yao Guang value, you'll notice 99% of the time I'm talking about the Silverwolf team because these two are in the game and they are the most synergistic duo I think this game has ever made. Like, Yao Guang leeches hard off of everything Sparksy is able to provide, but Sparksy can only provide this if paired with Yao Guang. It's like a glued together duo that you don't really want to separate at all. One new cope I've seen on Reddit is that the Yao Guang replacement will literally copy Cyrene's kit. So, nothing concrete. Bullshit headcanon again. Great. Beautiful. Fucking amazing. More bullshit headcanon that has zero actual relevance. Amazing. It sounds just like Reddit, to be honest. Sounds just like it. Why do people say she will not be best in slot? One, they either want to feel smarter than they are and feel like a guru who has god level foresight when in reality they only understand things at a surface level. Or two, they're just trying to cope with not having to pull her. To be honest, they're both equal in the amount of people in each boat. And I'm not trying to hate on other CCs who say this shit. Because it's like, I mean, bro, do whatever the fuck you want, okay? It's your content. I'm not going to be here to police you like, actually, Yao Guang does this and that. Like, I'll do it on my own channel. I'm not going to blame other content creators. But other content creators not being able to fully understand Yao Guang's value in a multiple relations team is what's leading to a large part of this misinformation. Unfortunately. And there's nothing I can do about that. I'm just, you know, not popular enough to really get out there, so. Yeah, you don't, well, I mean, you're going to be hurting hard as fuck if you don't pull Yao Guang. But these Elation characters will clear even without best in slot team in all likelihood, right? Like, that's kind of normal. I mean, I've literally run my Cassie on my main account with, like, no Evernight a few times and shit still clears. Literally the only one you need, you know, quote unquote, is Hyacine. And yeah, after you get that done, I mean, slap a Ruan Mei, slap an RMC, get to work. Clears endgame. Her ult is a cheat code for every elation character. Yeah, that's the other thing people don't consider. Like when people talk about Yao Guang, they talk about the Aha instant, but never mention the damage it adds to the entire team's damage output. Like they always do this. They don't consider the fact that Yao Guang does damage. They don't consider the fact that forced Aha instance would only become stronger when you add more elation characters on the team who can do elation skills, or the fact that you'd get more rewards from said elation skills. Like people completely ignore this like very obvious, like right in your face value that her kit provides for elation characters because it don't fit the agenda. Like that shit is crazy valuable. Now it's not like Robin where you need to be spamming that shit and have 100% uptime all the time for it to, be valuable, which is why her Lycone isn't as important as Robin's. But still, it's really important. I think this is the 20th Yao Guang discussion, even though I don't come often. Yeah, this is exactly why I said, like, I've lost half of my yearly energy talking about Yao Guang kit and shit. Because it's like, 99% of the time, I'm never met with a point that actually makes sense or goes off of any logic or common sense. It's just cope with nothing. Yeah, like, in my opinion, the reason Aha Instant Punchline doesn't count towards. I mean, you guys already seen my recent thing where I updated it with the punchline, right? The amount of punchline that Yao Guang generates in a 3-man elation team is the same as 2 max skill Sparksy skills or 18 skill points worth of punchline, right? From Yao Guang just doing basics, skills, and +5 from her ultimate. However, imagine you then added 20 punchline from her ultimate. You are now hitting 73 punchline generated in a 0 cycle. She is arguably generating as much, if not more, punchline now than Sparksy is without needing to consume the skill points. And then her E1 increases this by 20 more punchline, which now brings you to 113 punchline generated, right, in a 0 cycle. 113 from Yao Guang alone, if it counted the Aha instance. Let's get real. That's there for a balancing reason, right? That shit would be too broken. Like, yeah, Yao Guang's elation skill puts vulnerability. Her ult gives res pen, and then her base kit buffs elation and elation damage, and then she also gives character certified banger. So she has all those buffs. Sparksy is the main punchline generator and crit damage buffer, and her Lycone can also have an elation damage percent increase for the entire team. And then my guess, personally, is Sustain has merrymaking. I could be wrong. I think the Sustain, the elation one, will be the one with the merrymaking buff, because that's like the last undiluted buff that's really available for the team. Could be wrong, though. Because Evanesia is obvious. Evanesia isn't getting the best in slot teammate shilling that Silverwolf will get, and Evanesia will likely leech her support options off of Silverwolf's. So, if Evanesia is a hyper carry, no Sparksy, right? Like, unless you are aiming for a team where everybody does damage, no Sparksy, right? It'd be better to have another hyper carry buffer in there instead. So you know EMC is going into this team for sure, and you know Yao Guang's going in there as well because, well, she's the strongest elation buffer in the game. And then buffed Wowo is probably, at least temporarily, going to be the best sustain for these elation teams until we get the elation sustain near the end of the version. So Evanesia's team doesn't have as much contention among, who's going to be best in slot, because most people agree like Sparksy isn't going in here. Sparksy's only for Silverwolf's team. It's only this Silverwolf team discussion where people are really trying hard to say that Yao Guang would not be in there and she'd get beat by like Buff Sparkle or something, because they don't understand how Yao Guang's kit works. I mean, RMC is always going to have more value than EMC in my opinion. If they do lean towards EMC being an elation damage buffer, or even if he has merrymaking is only for elation damage. Like, no matter what, EMC is going to be worse value than RMC generally. But EMC will obviously have way more value for getting into the elation teams, and especially Evanesia. That's my guess. Which means another prediction wrote off as correct. I did make a prediction that a lot of people fought me on a while back, I think around Cyrene's patch, that RMC would still have more value than the next EMC because of the true damage buffing and action advance. And people would like actually try to fight me about this in my stream, so W. Oh yeah, this phase 1 has felt long as shit. I really wish we could just get the second phase already. No, Yao Guang does not need her Lycone. You can use the free-to-play Lycone in the MOC shop. Ashvale hasn't even gotten his V3 yet. That's something I'm also waiting for, V3 Ashvale. I personally am confident they won't nerf his damage, but there's some other people who think they will, so we'll see how that ends up going. And what's it called? Like a few weeks after this Ashvale beta, we should get 4.2 beta. 4.2 beta will be exciting for many reasons, and especially annoying for me as a content creator because of the buffed characters as well. This is going to be definitely the worst and most toxic beta I've ever experienced, most likely, which is sad, but I'll just have to deal with it. When's V3? I genuinely don't know, Solus, because we no longer have Hamdi GCat for the countdown. I don't know, Phanon Beta was something. Phanon Beta is definitely on my number 1 of all time for most toxic and annoying. But I think this one can definitely trump it. Like, you got Buff Seal. You got the first standard banner getting buffed. You got Firefly getting buffed, which a lot of people hate. And then Huohuo. A lot of people are like, oh, she's already a good enough sustain. Why aren't you buffing Fu Xuan instead of Huohuo? And then you also have this entire Yao Guang discussion of if she's best in slot with Silverwolf and Evanesia. Probably Everly. Probably. Yeah. It's just so obvious, Everly. It's so fucking obvious. I don't know. I could be wrong, but like in my mind, or sorry, Verly. Yes, you told me to call you Verly. Like, it's too obvious. It's like, no way people genuinely believe she won't be best in slot. I will make a video laughing my ass off once that beta comes out. That's literally all I'm waiting for at this point. I am so supremely confident. I'm just waiting for the gameplay in Calx to come out so I can make a video trolling people. And I will farm it over multiple videos. Will you make an apology video if you're wrong? Yeah, obviously. Why wouldn't I? Fuck. I'll take accountability. I don't give a shit, man. Why would I be scared of that? I'd be like, yeah, you know, I was wrong. Sorry. If I got anyone to pull Yao Guang, that's my fault. I'll be more cautious when I try to tell people about pull value in the future. And, yeah. Like, there's nothing I can do. Just gotta take it. Oh, wait. What if buffed Woho regens more energy, that's just going to make Yao Guang even more best in slot. I low-key didn't even think about that. If they buff the energy regen on Woho, or increase the frequency that she can get ultimate, Yao Guang's value increases even more. If that's the difference of getting another AHA instant pretty quickly. See, this is another reason why you should always say Yao Guang is the Cyrene for Elation. They both have shitty ass ultimate issues that take forever to get. That's even more proof, even more evidence. Nah, that's reaching. I'm mostly joking. I'm not being dead ass, but it is a funny similarity. I mean, once Cyrene gets through the ramp up time, really, she unironically ults more often than Yao Guang does, probably. If you play Cyrene correctly. Like, I saw from gameplays, a Yao Guang without her light cone, like, she uses ult at the very beginning, and then the next time she uses ult is nearly the end of the zero cycle on the second wave. That's about as long as it takes Cyrene to also get it, if not longer. People just don't realize it because, like, Yao Guang's ultimate isn't as important as getting Cyrene's ultimate done. You know what I'm saying? But Yao Guang's ultimate does take as long, if not longer, than Cyrene's after the first use. Oh, nice, Everly. Nice. Should I pull Yao's light cone? No, not in my opinion. I'd prioritize the E1, and then I'd also get the E2 before I get the light cone. Alright, chat. I'm going to end the stream here. It's now 12 for me. I think it's a pretty good time to end it. Love you all. Hope you have a great day. Hope you have a